Japanese SMEs with world-class technology, quality, and safety. Innovative online matching site for finding business partners you can trust. Jaegood Tech, your solution is here.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tokyo Skytree. Be awestruck by the panoramic view. There are so many other fun things to do after you've enjoyed the view. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go, let's enjoy. This is Tokyo Skytree.
Let's go look for Mitsubishi Electric around the world. Singapore. Found it. Jakarta. Yeah! Tokyo. Michigan. Kuala Lumpur. Italia. Mitsubishi Electric.
Mitsui & Company.
Welcome to Channel Japan. I'm Mai Demizu.
And I'm Makiko Tsuda.
Every week we bring you the freshest information out of Japan from our studio here in Tokyo.
From the economy to culture and even foods, if you want to find out what's happening in Japan right now, this is where you'll find it.
And these are topics for today.
In Dreamweavers, a tile maker that continues to protect centuries-old techniques and tradition.
In Executive Insight, a report on what regions in Japan are doing to wean themselves off central government support.
From World Business Satellite, the search for new technologies to deal with the shortage of successors in farming country.
And from the Nikkei Online edition, wearable devices that allow the less musically gifted to feel as if they can actually play musical instruments. So let's get started. First up is Dreamweavers, in which introduce the innovations of Japan's small and mid-sized companies.
Yes, and this time we bring you the latter half of our two-part series on Koyo Seiga, a maker of traditional smoked tiles. And we have some pictures of what they look like.
I see. And they've also worked on the renovation of the World Heritage Site, Himeji Castle. So their technical capability was certainly well recognized as well.
Yes, it was. But the company also struggled through a period when its products just didn't sell.
Why was that?
Well, they boast products that won't lose their colour for more than 50 years, and because of that, more time and effort are spent in making them compared to conventional smoked tiles. And so faced with cost competition from mass-produced tiles, as well as falling demand due to the spread of Western-style homes, the company considered closing its doors at one point.
Well, that sounds serious, but how were they able to overcome that situation?
Well, they were able to win a contract to help renovate the Himeji Castle, like you mentioned, and they also started offering factory tours and programs to educate the general public about smoked tiles. And soon the factory itself became a local tourist spot, and they say that's one reason why they've regained their energy as a business.
I see. So by being recognized by many people and seeing the interest from tourists and visitors, I'm sure it was a big source of motivation for the workers.
I agree, and what's more, they've developed new types of smoked tiles, not just to be used on the roofs of homes, but for interior material, and aggressively seeking out new markets and opportunities. And we have a report on their surprising new strategy for the business, so take a look.
In March of this year, the designated national treasure of Himeji Castle revealed its majestic beauty once again, following a major renovation. During the overhaul, about 75,000 new tiles were laid. Playing a key role was a local tile maker with just 10 employees. The company employed a traditional technique requiring significant time and effort. Smoked tiles that won't lose their color for 50 years. In a mountainous area of Himeji City, Hyogo Prefecture, there's a tile maker that took part in a massive renovation of Himeji Castle. Invited to tour this smoked tile maker is a picture book author from Osaka.
I haven't decided yet. I'll think about it after seeing what they do today.
He will be visiting Koyo Seiga, a small pottery maker specializing in smoked tiles. He's shown where the smoked tiles are actually made. On this day, they're making eaves tiles for a temple. The craftsman shapes clay using a pressing machine. First, the clay is set into a mold. A hand-operated pressing machine worn with age. Adjusting the pressure with the levers, the overall shape is made. And when taken out, it's become an eaves tile. As a finishing touch, it's shaved. This is a process that many manufacturers have started skipping, but Koyo Seiga makes sure to shave all its tiles. Once the clay dries, the tiles are put into a furnace. Removing the oxygen inside after the tiles are baked produces the oxidized silver color. The temperature rises to as high as 1,165 degrees Celsius. Most companies will take the tiles out after 1 or 2 days, but as Koyo Seiga slowly raises the temperature and naturally cools them, it takes 4 days. As more Western-style homes were built, demand for tiles began to shrink. Smoked tiles struggled as mass production spurred cost competition. Across the country, tile makers went out of business, and Koyo Seiga also considered closing down its factory. The president, who was a homemaker at the time, raising 3 children, got a call from her father saying he was folding the company.
It was a big decision of either carrying on this traditional technique or choosing my family.
Ms. Sasada carried on the business with her husband, but later divorced and pushed ahead on her own. She had no funds and no management experience. Her only support was the dream of working on Himeji Castle.
I was determined to put our craftsmen up on the tower of Himeji Castle, and I had absolute confidence in our tiles.
She appealed to Himeji city officials, but
they didn't know about us and were surprised there were even tile makers in the Hyogo area.
to get the city to acknowledge them, they transformed the factory into a place where visitors could experience making things. The company became a front-runner in industrial tourism and received support from the city. Many children and tourists visited, raising their profile. The first step in getting themselves recognized by city officials was the happy voices of children. The next step was carving a new path for smoked tiles. Katsushi Okudaira previously worked at an interior design company. He came up with the idea of using the tiles for the inside of homes and buildings.
I wanted to make them thin to put on walls, but when they're too thin, they bend and become warped, so you can't make them big. We overcame that drawback by making them smaller, though there's more work involved.
Called arare, the smoked tiles are cut into small pieces and arranged. By doing so, they are transformed into interior material and even accessories, a truly innovative product. The first facility to incorporate the arare tiles was Abeno Harukasu, the tallest building in Japan. The walls of the 14th floor hall lined with high-end restaurants are entirely covered in them.
At the time, using tiles as wall material was a revolutionary idea. These tiles are an Eastern thing, but they're designed like those used in the West. They match the concept of the floor, which is all ages and places.
By demonstrating its capabilities in industrial tourism and interior design to the officials of Himeji City, the company succeeded in securing a contract to supply tiles for Himeji Castle. In this way, their wish of participating in the massive renovation of Himeji Castle came true. It also helped give confidence to the young craftsmen who were coming in as part of a generational shift at the company.
It's a World Heritage Site after all. Being involved in such work raises my motivation. They've really looked after me. And I had a great experience.
With work becoming busy, the Yuko cafeteria was opened inside the company 3 years ago. The chef is the president's daughter, Yuko, who saw that her mother's hands were full and decided to help out at the company.
When all the employees can get together, I prepare curry rice.
It's super tasty.
She is also the head of the research office, which has been eyeing a new opportunity. They are working to convince a hotel of Kansai International Airport to adopt art panels made with arare.
We want people to see this wonderful material rooted in Japanese tradition, so we're asking them to put it there.
A panel brought to the hotel with the aim of getting people around the world to know about the quality of smoked tiles. It's a mosaic of a lion's head made with arare.
It's the gateway of Japan, so we want people from overseas to know about this Japanese material.
We're aiming for the same things as you are, and believe the hotel should be a place to promote Kansai and Japanese culture. The question is its durability and weight.
They put up the panel in the lobby to see how it looks.
We could let you use this as an exhibition space.
That would make us so happy.
The two sides reach an agreement. In the future, smoked tile art like this may be found in towns and cities.
I want to let people know that there are craftsmen working with their heads down to preserve this technique. It's slow, but step by step we're moving forward. Koyo of Koyo Seiga means to shine a light across the world. So having our product placed at this gateway makes us really happy.
What's Mr. Taniguchi's impression after touring the company?
I found out that each and every part of the production process is done by hand. I thought they just used the same mold over and over again, but they start by cutting out each tile. It was amazing. You feel the hands of people in each tile.
Using the sketches he made during his tour as a guide, Mr. Taniguchi starts putting together a picture book of Koyo Seiga. He combines the tiles in a picture book style. Colors are added. What kind of book will it be?
There are pictures on it. It's cute. A tigerfish.
This is a lotus pond. This is the home and there's the chimney. I heard demon tiles protect homes, so I wanted this tradition to be preserved. These two are protecting and preserving the tradition of Koyo Seiga. That was the image I had when drawing it.
It really makes the smoky silver color look beautiful.
The smoky silver-colored tiles have a depth and created a nice atmosphere when left in the background. I didn't have to add any colors. Their open and closed mouths represent harmony. I created this story with the hope that the company will continue to work in harmony.
Long, long ago, a lion said from the sky, "Isn't the castle of Himeji shining?" And the tigerfish answered, "It's something called smoky silver." Their hearts captivated by the beauty of the tiles. The two tigerfish are said to have settled in the land of Harima.
I've always thought we were being guarded by gods. That lions and tigerfish were flying in the sky and protecting everyone. I'm going to take strength from this and keep working hard.
And after the break, a report on regional reverse.
Winter in Japan. Lovely views. Heartwarming flavors. And exhilarating experiences. Discover the best Japan has to offer right here in central Japan this winter. Nagoya Railroad Group.
Potenza.
We do our jobs with sincerity and integrity to make a better living environment
for the people and our society. Today's work, tomorrow's heritage. Shimizu Corporation.
You're watching Channel Japan. Next is Executive Insight. So, Tsuda-san, what's the topic?
Yes, now this time we take a look at what's being called regional rebirth by local governments across Japan.
Well, meaning efforts to revitalize regional economies.
Exactly, and in this report we'll be looking at an example in Gifu Prefecture, which we have a map over here, which lies almost in the center, you could say, of Japan.
So could you explain the characteristics of Gifu Prefecture?
Yes, Gifu has been known as a commercial and industrial center from long ago, and it's given rise to numerous advanced technologies and has been referred to as the prefecture of craftsmanship. So many companies are headquartered there.
Well, at the same time, though, attracting foreign tourists is said to be crucial for regional revitalization. So does Gifu has any strategies for that?
Yes, it has the World Heritage Site of Shirakawa-go village. We have some pictures over here, and plenty of other tourism resources and famous foods such as Hida beef and Fuyu persimmons and sweet fish. And they're all being actively promoted around the world.
Well, how are they doing that?
Well, interestingly, the prefectural governor himself has been going overseas and promoting brands from Gifu, and we had a chance to talk with him for this report, so take a look.
Executive Insight. Mount Kinka, atop which sits Gifu Castle, and the clear waters of the Nagara River. Located in central Japan, Gifu Prefecture is surrounded to the north by 3,000-meter-high mountains, the source of beautiful rivers that have given birth to a land rich in nature. Taking advantage of its abundant natural resources and central location, the prefecture has successfully developed its own industries. Many historical buildings and national treasures have been preserved, merging the old with the new. In recent years, Gifu has been pursuing a strategy to reinvigorate the regional economy. We speak to Governor Hajime Furuta about his vision.
First, I'd like to ask you, what kind of place is Gifu Prefecture and what are its characteristics?
The simplest description is that it's in the middle of Japan. From long ago, Gifu was the junction between cultures of the eastern and western regions of the country. The junction of Edo culture and Kansai culture. It's a place where cultures mixed. Gifu Prefecture also covers a wide area of which 80% is forest. From the 3,000-meter Japanese Alps all the way down to the river areas at sea level of 0 meters. There is an extremely wide altitude difference. There are also numerous mountains and forests rich in resources. And the water collected there turns into clear streams that flow down to the Sea of Japan and the Pacific Ocean. What you could call the character or culture of the prefecture is connected by those clear streams. Water nourishes the lives of the people and creates a bond between them. That's how I would describe Gifu.
I understand that water has been the link and engine for various industries since long ago. Does that still hold true today with modern industries?
Forestry and agriculture have grown because of water. Washi paper, knives, pottery and woodwork have also benefited greatly from water. And in terms of cutting-edge industries, components and materials for autos, as well as for aerospace, are a major business for us. Manufacturing is thriving in those fields.
Blessed with rich natural resources, such as mountains, rivers, and clean water, as well as its geographic location, Gifu Prefecture has developed into a major center of manufacturing in Japan. Woodworking, which carries on the traditions and techniques of the master artisans of Hida. And Honminoshi. Last year, the technique of making this traditional paper was added to UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Heritage List. Gifu lanterns made with washi paper are a traditional craft with a history of more than 300 years. Seiki knives, a shining example of traditional craftsmanship, are a world-renowned brand.
We want to integrate tradition and innovations made possible with new machines like these to produce high-quality knives for people around the world.
The Tono region is the country's biggest producer of ceramics for Japanese and Western-style dishware and tiles. 7 industries have developed in the prefecture and are being promoted in the international market.
In around 2007 and 2008, we put together a 10-year vision for the prefecture. At the time, it was titled, Taking on the Challenges of a Shrinking Population and Society. From back then, we expected the population in the prefecture to shrink. But we also set out to increase non-resident populations. That means to widely promote the attractions of Gifu to people inside and outside, to increase exchanges of people and things. As a result, interest in Gifu from overseas has rapidly grown.
For a long time, Gifu wasn't widely recognized overseas as a tourist destination. To become chosen by tourists, the prefecture needed to narrow down its strategy and carry out effective campaigns. One such initiative involves the governor himself traveling to countries as part of a top-level marketing pitch for the Gifu brand.
Why are you carrying out these top-level marketing activities?
Tourism isn't exclusive to tour agents. Every citizen should have pride in their prefecture and should boast about it. We felt we should find things to boast about together. That's why we started the Hida Mino Pride project. First, we find things around us, polish them up, and promote them. The government will support that entire process of discovery, development, and dissemination. In every country I go to, together with the Japanese ambassador stationed there, I carry the flags of Japan and of Gifu Prefecture in extending an invitation. I want to leave the impression that this is a national as well as a regional campaign. Local businesses are getting inquiries, and we've been able to successfully promote the prefecture. And recently, a lot of people have started accompanying me on these top-level marketing trips.
This is a pottery workshop. With about 20 employees, it is a small company. Local industries are primarily comprised of small companies. While making high-quality products, they have struggled to grow due to a lack of know-how and funds needed for marketing. This company that makes Mino ware says top-level marketing by the governor had a big effect.
The governor was planning trips overseas, and officials gave us information about lifestyle shops and other aspects of that region, that country. So we decided to promote our products at an exhibition. And later, we got inquiries from people wanting to visit our facility. What the governor is doing has been extremely helpful in terms of product development and promotion. We're unable to go overseas to promote or sell our products. So for prefectural officials and the governor himself, to go out is something we're extremely grateful about. With their help, we hope to be able to do more on our own and link this to sales.
The prefecture is also leveraging its own resources for regional revitalization.
I've heard that you're also attracting interest from overseas in the field of sports.
Gifu is a region that's extremely passionate about sports. In particular, about 1,200 to 2,200 meters above the foot of Mount Ontake, we have one of the best high-altitude training areas in Japan. Ahead of the upcoming Tokyo Olympic and Paralympic Games, we're promoting it as a training camp for participating countries. We've already had big interest from England, the US, France, and Australia. During the recent World Track and Field Championships in Beijing, the mid-distance running team from England traveled to Beijing from here. We are committed to always providing the best hospitality and a great environment. Those are the resources we hope to utilize.
A building adjacent to JR Gifu Station. A new initiative is about to start here as well.
This is inside a train station, but the shops are quite fancy.
This station serves 20 million passengers every year. Even if just a few % of them peek into the stores, it's a huge number. We want people who come to Gifu to see the best of Gifu. The people of Gifu themselves are not necessarily aware of the great things we have here. So we built these shops as places for the sellers and buyers of Gifu to meet, and for the people of Gifu to see the great local products.
So everyone becomes a salesperson for Gifu.
That's right.
This store, called the Gifts Shop, brings together the 7 major industries of the prefecture. It doesn't just sell things, but also proposes lifestyle concepts. With 2,500 items from 200 local firms on offer, it is a specialty shop that represents Gifu at its best.
Last year, the hand-making technique for Honmino washi paper was designated a UNESCO World Heritage. These are bags made from that. For example, this can be folded and used as a pouch, and also as a shoulder bag.
You can fold it and carry it too.
And this is the top-selling product here. This is Shunkei lacquerware of Hida. It's originally a lunchbox.
A lunchbox, how gorgeous.
And this, overseas, it's used as a jewelry box.
A jewelry box instead of lunch.
It's a gift that's really appreciated. Another product is Seki knives. They're coated in titanium. There are many different colors. They're extremely lightweight and functional, and cut well. They're very highly regarded. This is coated on the inside and won't leak water. You put ice in here and use it as a wine cooler. It's made of wood, so you get that woody fragrance. I take this along often on my trips overseas. These wood wine coolers really surprise people. They're appreciated 100%. Right now, we're trying out all kinds of arrangements, as much as we can at this shop, to see how much we can expand this concept. It's partly an experiment.
You had 600,000 overseas guests last year, and you're forecasting 1 million this year, so how will you achieve that?
We make new fans of Gifu. We get opinion leaders overseas and other interested people to become fans of Gifu, and they in turn can become salespeople for us in their countries. That's the kind of trend we'd like to create.
So that effort is paying off in terms of the growing number?
We're still halfway, actually. We've only started. I believe we need to continue moving forward.
Marketing the Gifu brand through a public-private partnership. What ideas will spring forth next?
And after the break, we have a report from World Business Satellite.
Let's paint a vision, your imagination. It started moving round the world. Dream car. Let's paint a vision, your imagination. It started moving round the world. From a sketch on a piece of paper. Come together now. Dream car.
Machines can do much more to unleash human potential. Pure possibility. Omron.
Let's go skiing! That's wonderful!
Icicle! Next time!
Wonderful!
Great! Excellent!
Smiles ahead! Save a group!
Man, look at all these cars.
Hey, have you heard, by the way, the Japanese company Kobelco is working to make the world's cars lighter.
So what does that mean?
Kobelco is using aluminum and steel technologies to make car parts and bodies lighter around the world.
Ah, Japanese technology. The country of karate. Ha! Ha! Ha!
Why do we always do that?
I don't know.
The talk of the world. Kobelco.
You're watching Channel Japan. Next, we have a report from TV Tokyo's World Business Satellite. So, Utsuda-san, what's the topic?
Yes, this time we look at the lack of successors in Japan's farming industry. And like we've mentioned on numerous occasions, rural areas are facing the critical issue of rapidly aging population.
Well, the perception of farming as a difficult life, I'm sure it's also driving people away from the countryside.
I agree, and it's physically grueling work, and you don't get a lot of days off, and it can also be dirty. And these are just some of the impressions that young people have of farming.
So, what could be the solution to that?
Well, recently the focus has shifted to developing new technologies that lighten the burden and overturn the common perception of farming. So, take a look.
The last Sunday of August, 40 men and women gather.
Next is the harvesting and tractor driving experience.
This is a matchmaking event for farmers and women interested in farming.
About 20 centimeters.
This farmer is teaching a woman how to plant seedlings.
We invite people every year to work here on internships.
They appear to have hit it off. Kanuma City has been promoting the attractions of farm life through such events.
Cheers!
Behind these matchmaking events organized by the city is the lack of successors faced by local farms.
Since long ago, agriculture has been seen as dirty and difficult work, and that perception is driving people away.
In a recent job satisfaction survey, agriculture was ranked last. Farming has been perceived as being labor-intensive, short on holidays, and stinky work. As it stands now, farms are unable to train successors. A car drives along the coast. The Ebihara family spends days off enjoying drives like this. Mr. Ebihara takes out his smartphone and starts doing something on it.
I can see the condition in the greenhouse through a camera and check the condition of the leaves and other things.
Mr. Ebihara is checking the temperature inside the greenhouse. He's actually a vegetable farmer. With the sun getting brighter, he was worried about the condition of his crops.
With this smartphone, I can operate the farm remotely. Because of that, I've been able to go out more with my children and open up my schedule for other things.
A system to let farmers rest. This is the developer. Cameras set up inside the greenhouse allow farmers to see how their crops are doing. What's more, with temperature sensors, changes in the temperature can be checked at any time. It's also possible to find out the moisture level of the dirt. And through the system, watering is controlled with a simple on and off command. While it's not on the market yet, the cost of setting it up is estimated at between 200,000 and 300,000 yen.
We're developing the system so that farms can customize it in various ways. And our hope is that by narrowing down the functions, we'll be able to make something that's affordable.
Mr. Ebihara says even watering crops is a lot of trouble for farms. Until now, he had to drive his car every day to a place 20 minutes away just to water his vegetables, and twice a day in the summer. But through the low-cost remote control system, the idea that there are no days off in agriculture was completely overturned.
Whether I'm in Tokyo or the US, with this smartphone, I can manage everything, even control the watering. It's a big help.
Akko City, Hyogo Prefecture. Adjacent to a residential district is Maruo Farm. They raise 120 milk cows and use the waste as compost. This is compost made from cow waste mixed with sawdust. It is used as fertilizer for the farm. But there's a problem.
It stinks, especially when you turn around. You get this powerful stench.
The neighborhood children who come to play on the farm.
I'm going to spray it now.
But after spraying it with something, this spray is meant to turn the stench of waste into a sweet smell. The Maruo farm has set up spraying devices at the entrances of the compost area and cow shed to deal with the stench problem.
I think taking care of this is a rule that livestock farms have to follow. Farms nowadays need to avoid causing problems for those around.
The liquid to turn the stench of waste into a sweet scent was developed by a company in Osaka. It works in a surprising way.
We applied a formula similar to that used in making perfume.
Perfume is said to be designed to create an appealing scent by combining bad and good smells. Their product doesn't contain the bad smell, so that when put together with the waste odor, a sweet scent is produced. This was jointly developed by Yamamoto Perfumery and chemical fiber maker Shikibo.
Rather than eliminating the odor, it uses the smell of the waste to create a nice scent. That's the best method.
A farm near the city of Sapporo. Yutaka Tsujimoto of Shikibo arrives. He's here to get the president of a dairy farm struggling with a stench problem to try out a newly developed product.
People who move here complain that it stinks. It doesn't matter anymore if you were living there first.
Ryota Iijima is the president's son and works at a major automobile manufacturer. He doesn't believe waste odors can be changed.
Will it really work? Like an aroma?
His first experience, he readies some cow waste and smells it.
It's the usual stench of cow waste. It's really strong.
The prototype liquid is poured on the waste.
It smells like dessert. It's not intolerable. Kind of sweet.
The son has not actually made a decision to take over the farm. So his father is testing out a new initiative with the hope of convincing him.
This entire area smells like a confectionery factory now.
Then he says,
This is part of Sapporo City, so little by little residential areas will push closer. In that sense, we need to do something.
Hearing those words, Mr. Iijima breaks into a smile.
Farms everywhere are struggling to deal with the stench. So we want to help out in any way we can.
Farms struggling with the lack of successors. By solving the problems of stench and holidays, a new path may open up for the industry.
ベトナムに対してワクチンの技術援助をするとか、我々の技術を出せばですね、救われる人たちがたくさんいる。でもう一つは非常に少ない疾病の患者さんたちのための開発をやっています。いかにしたら未だ治らない病気の治療薬ができるかっていう、そこにみんなの気持ちが大体集まってます。
The sport truck. New Mitsubishi Triton.
Drive at Earth Mitsubishi Motors.
Oryx is driving business in Asia through leases, investments, real estate development, energy businesses, and more. Making business more dynamic and fast-paced than ever. Oryx.
Nikko, one of Japan's leading tourist destinations. Here, you will be charmed by nature's bounty and will enjoy the beautiful scenery. You will also experience Japanese history at World Heritage temples and shrines. Nikko and Kinugawa, as well as the historic hot springs, are charming. Asakusa is easily accessible from the airport. It takes 2 hours from Asakusa to reach Nikko and Kinugawa via the Spacia Limited Express. Let's go to Nikko!
Making better living with functional labels and films. Connecting dreams throughout the world with our unique technology. Linking your dreams now from Japan to the world. For adhesive products, we are Lintec.
And next we had a video report from Nikkei Online Edition. So what is it about?
Yes, this time we look at a wearable device that allows people without any musical background to play a musical instrument like a piano or a saxophone. And you just wrap it around your arm and your fingers will start moving on their own. So take a look.
Put it on and anyone can become a musician. We spoke to an entrepreneurial venture about the evolution and future of wearable devices. On this day, we visited a music studio where developer and chief researcher Emi Tamaki showed us an experiment. A belt with electrodes called Possessed Hand is wrapped around the arm of our reporter who will try playing the saxophone for the first time in her life.
I'm a bit surprised by how smoothly my fingers moved.
She was also able to play the koto, plucking the strings with the stimulation sent through the belt around her arm. How is this possible?
Here we go.
A computer program sends signals to the possessed hand on which fingers to move. And The muscles respond to that electrical stimulation, moving the fingers.
ちょっと強いのがいきます。
3, 2, 1, go.
Independent of intention. The stimulation makes a user unconsciously move the fingers.
It's over. Wow, strange! It felt as if my hand was being manipulated, like it wasn't my own hand.
A technology to control a person's hand using electrical stimulation. Ms. Tamaki says she came up with the idea from a personal experience. Ms. Tamaki was born with a heart problem. During high school, she was frequently hospitalized and began thinking of how wonderful it would be to experience the outside world from her bed.
I felt it was important to have a system that allows people inside a room to experience the same things as those outside. For people who are ill, rather than going outside and making their condition worse, I realized it would be better for them to be able to live a full life from the comfort of their room.
The desire to give people a chance to experience the world not only through sight and sound, but also through touch. Through her graduate research at the University of Tokyo, she developed the possessed hand technology, which has been highly acclaimed around the world. Ms. Tamaki is currently working on developing a product for gaming that incorporates possessed hand technology, with plans to put it on the market by March next year. She says when worn, it will allow users to feel the damage inflicted on their characters in the game. Virtual reality made possible by wearable devices. Ms. Tamaki has even bigger dreams.
Now with Facebook, Twitter, and other platforms, you can enjoy both sound and video. Next is sensation. If we can bring sensation to 3D, it's possible to get a more realistic experience, to experience what others experience vicariously. I think that will become possible in the future.
And that brings us to the end of this edition of Channel Japan. We have much more in store for you, so join us again next week.